Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach, and it's going to be the round 6 preview, pre-lockout discussion, whatever you want to call it. And there's been some big ramifications with Team List Tuesday this week. I don't know, it feels like there's been some big moving parts, and it's definitely changed up what I am thinking of doing now. I'm now very much torn on what I want to do. So I'm actually going to go through, just in case I missed any other big changes. I think most of the teams are pretty much as they would be, but we'll quickly go through the team list. So for Storm, obviously Nick Meaney. Jerome Hughes comes back in and does... Okay, so yeah, Jonah Pezza does miss out on the bench spot, which people that bought him in last week were probably hoping he did get just the 14 and play a few minutes to get a little bit extra price increase, but I'm pretty happy I didn't go him. I actually don't know what he scored. I think he went okay, but nothing too flash hot. And then the Roosters, so James Tedesco obviously out. So Joey Manu is the man that's named at fullback, which I'm not surprised about. I know people were talking about Suoli'i potentially going back there, but really? He signed a union in a couple of years. Joey Manu wants to play fullback. Like, obviously they're going to give it to Manu, man. It does make obviously you can't get Manu. He's so expensive, and Tedesco's only probably going to miss this week, but Joey Manu at fullback is a different beast. Yeah, over Origin period, Manu could be a sneaky pickup if he continues to drop some price, but everything else looks pretty much stock standard, I would say, for the Roosters. Storm should be a good game. I actually don't know who I'm going to tip in that one. That's a tough game. That's a tough game. So the Bulldogs Rabbits. So there was definitely a couple of guys, Max King and Jacob Preston, were in a bit of doubt after last week. It looks like I had a quicker look at them before, and Max King is named to start, and Jacob Preston is also named to start. Harrison Edwards comes in to start at lock. I don't know who that is. I'm assuming he's a bottom dollar cheapie. Jackson Topany comes in onto the bench. I honestly, he's one guy that I don't really know why he hasn't been given more opportunities in the top grade, but he finally gets another crack here. The bench is looking weak, I gotta be honest, but they did it last week against the Cowboys. I definitely am tipping the Rabbitohs to win this, but yeah, I guess keep an eye on Harrison Edwards. Because, yeah, who's out? Yeah, Fatala Mariner, he is gone with concussion, so he'll be back, obviously, next week, you would imagine. Franklin Palais gone for a bit, and Ockenbaugh, who was playing through the middle. I don't know if I agree with that, but then the Rabbits, Alex Johnston is out, because yeah, that's right, I looked at this, and I saw Tane Milne was in, and I was like, oh, have they dropped Thompson? They haven't, so Johnston is actually out with, I think he had a lot of strapping on his, calf or hammy, not calf, a quad or hammy, I'm not sure what he injured, but he's gone for, I don't think it's a long-term injury, but yeah, I guess I'll wait and see. They do get a few players back as well. Totola, did he play last week? I don't think so. But yeah, the Rabbitohs starting to look a little bit more full of strength. Cowboys, Dolphins. So, I don't think... So, Helam Lukey is out. Man, that is goddamn annoying. Scott Drinkwater's back. I wasn't actually sure if he was back this week or next week, but that's a big in for the Cowboys. Ruben Cotter is back in. And this man, Sandrugu, he's an absolute machine. I'm sure he's... Is he outside? Yeah, he's in number 20. Dude, he was a monster in the World Cup. I'm surprised the Cowboys haven't given him a bit of a crack off the bench, but... I mean, surely he's a better option than fucking... What is this bench? Tom Chester and Jake Granville both on the bench. Tanor Brown and Riley Price does look very good, but I can't believe they're not giving Sandrugu a crack. I mean, honestly, Jason Taumalolo, does his minutes increase? Maybe? Like, that bench is... I mean, I guess they're using Granville as a lock nowadays. I don't really understand it, but... Griffin Neem goes into the back row, starting back row. I mean, Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. He doesn't look like a edge back row type forward, in my opinion, but I guess we'll see how he handles it. I think his price is a little bit awkward. He definitely has scored a couple of decent scores. He's always got an attacking stat in him, so I don't think he's going to be an option. I mean, if Heilum Lukey, I'm hoping it's not anything too major, because man, I love watching Heilum Lukey play, but we'll see what happens there. The Cowboys, they're in a bit of a fucking shambles at the moment, it's got to be said. For the Dolphins, so Milford is gone. Edric Lee comes in. Oh, beautiful. I think Edric Lee still has so much to offer in the NRL. I'm very excited to see him back. Obviously, he's had, just injury after injury the last couple of years, but I think Edric Lee is a very, very good winger, so I'm excited to see him back in the side. Who is out? Robert Jennings. Where does he go? Was Robert Jennings on the other... No, Bostock. That's right. So Jack Bostock has dropped out. I'm actually interested to see what Edric Lee's price is on Supercoach, because I feel like he hasn't played in a couple of years. Very sporadically if he has. So I'll have a quick look at him, because I don't... I mean, I don't know. We'll have a look. I'm not that keen on any Dolphins outside backs now with... their halves getting decimated. But, Cody Nikorima comes into the halves. So, no new cheapie or anything like that. And it makes sense. I mean, Nikorima has played in the halves and done a great job for a long time. So, I don't mind that. I think him and Katoa could be a nice little combo, honestly. Maybe back to the old days of Milford, Nikorima. It would have been fun to see Nikorima and Milford in the halves playing with Bennett again, the old Broncos days. I mean, they did some great things together, but not to be. Not much else there to discuss. Panthers. So the Panthers Sea Eagles. This is one game that has thrown me for a loop. So James Fisher-Harris is gone, but as you can see, Luke Garner or Liam Munn are both not even in the extended bench. So the bench of Sonny Luke, Lindsay Smith, Spencer Linnew, and Jamin Salmon is still there. And Zach Hosking and Scott Sorensen are the starting edge back rowers still. I thought Liam, I don't know. I don't know. It feels like they haven't really been very upfront with those injuries. The Liam Mann one, I'm not sure what he even did. I thought it was just at most a 1 week thing, but I don't know. And then Luke Garner, it seemed like he was dropped, and then he had niggles and then injury, so I don't know what's doing there. I was not keen on Zach Hosking at all, because Luke Garner and Liam Munn was 100% going to come back in and play 80 minutes on an edge or thereabouts. So there's one spot down, and then Luke Garner, I mean, maybe Hosking keeps the other edge, but then is Luke Garner on the bench with Salmon, or is it just Salmon? Or I don't know what it's doing. So I really wasn't that keen on getting Hosking. But honestly, now that they're both not playing again, Zach Hosking gets his third game to impress, and he's been really, really good. That's the thing. He's been tremendous on the edge for the Panthers. That if he has another game here and he kills it, one, his price is pretty, it's mid-range price. He's going to go up a stack of cash. He's made a lot of points already, so this is the week to get him. And if he kills it again, I guess they will give him the other edge spot. He will have earned it. So I think it's changed my plans to probably bring in Zach Hosking this week. I really wasn't that keen on him, but no Liam Munn or Garner has really thrown me for a loop here. And then we look at the Sea Eagles. So Jason Saab comes in because Tui Pilotu is gone for a few weeks. Now, Saab is an interesting one. He is a guy that obviously he can score very low. Again, I'm keen to see his price on Supercoach. I'm not sure what he ended up last year. He was probably pretty expensive. I don't know. I feel like he scored a few tries at the end to bump up. But he is a guy that can get on runs. And the fact that Tommy is there, Saab scores very well with Tom Trbojevic in the side. So obviously we can watch him this week. He's not going to go up in price or anything like that. But the fact that Tui Piloto, I think it was only a minor knee injury, so 3 or 4 weeks. Depending on Saab's price, he might not be a bad option to downgrade one of the cheapy centre wings. Khan Pereira, Warbrick, any of those guys, Taruva potentially. But yeah, we'll look at that later. But interesting. Keep an eye on Saab. But yeah, I mean, if he kills it, I feel like Tui Piloto's been a bit weak this year, if I'm being honest. He was great last year when he came in, but I don't know. I haven't been that impressed with Tui Piloto this year thus far. So I think it's Saab. Saab, if he plays well, potentially could snag that spot. And also, yeah, Kohler's out as well. So, I mean, Harper played there last week, but pending, I don't know, Tui Piloto maybe can play centre replacing Harper. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Josh Schuster obviously comes back into the side, so I still think Schuster is... yeah, I'm definitely going to get Schuster. It just depends where I get him. And then, yeah, the rest of it is what it is. Any other teams? I guess we'll just go through the rest of them quickly. Broncos, Raiders. I don't think there's any too notable ones here. So Hetherington, I hope Hetherington comes onto the bench. No, he doesn't. I really want to... Hetherington should be on the bench instead of Palacia because Hetherington was outstanding last year. Obviously coming back from a pretty serious injury, but he deserves the spot, really. I want to see Hetherington back, but looks like they're unchanged, the Broncos. Jesse Arthurs keeps that spot. The Raiders, though, have Jared Croker back in the side, which I've got to be honest, it makes sense. Harley Smith-Shields, he's an exciting young player, but I really have not been impressed with him. And I always thought that surely they just bring Jared Croker back into this side. One, I mean, he's a great goal kicker. I mean, Jamal Fogarty is a pretty damn good goal kicker as well. I would expect Croker to probably regain that. But Croker is just such a safe veteran now. I feel like the Raiders need a bit of that. Smith-Shields' defense has been pretty lackluster, I think. So I think this is a good decision for the Raiders, personally, to bring him back. Even though I've never been high on Jared Croker, but I just think it makes sense the way their team is at the moment. And I go Jared Croker is a one to watch as well as a potential downgrade because I'm pretty sure his price is $270K. So yeah, if he actually gets that spot and he plays pretty okay, they're not going to drop him if he plays well. Potentially goal kicking again. He could be a fantastic downgrade option. And then, so yeah, Zach Wilford starting, but who knows, Starling could start. It doesn't fucking matter. And then, yeah, the forwards are pretty much as they were. But yeah, the Jared Croker is very interesting now to keep an eye on. Titans, Dragons. So the main one here was Khan Pereira. And thankfully he has maintained his spot, which is great. He will make a ton of cash. So I was wondering about that. Is Kieran Foran going to be playing? No, Toby Sexton comes in, which is a little bit it's a little bit iffy because this could be a shootout between Sexton and Tanner Boyd. Whoever plays better could keep the halfback spot, and Kieran Foran will obviously come back into the side when he's fit. But out of these two, whoever plays better will get the spot, I would imagine. It's a bit of a shootout now. So Tanner Boyd owners like myself, hopefully he can just get some form back and get some points for us, but also maintain the spot, which would be nice. But other than that, I think they're pretty much... so Jaden Campbell... Yeah, so Brimson obviously gone as well, unfortunately, but they do have Campbell. I still think Campbell is I think he potentially could be a great fullback. I'm excited to see him. He's just such a good mover. I love watching him play. So I hate to see Brimson gone, but I do love watching Jaden Campbell. The Titans do have a few luxuries in that department. The forward pack is pretty much as you would expect. And the other big one here, Isaac Fasuamo Ali is still got that spot. And I think I think I'm just going to trade Christian Welch to Isaac. That's what I'm leaning towards. I mean, look at the caliber here. They got the young Haas brother too on the bench. I mean, the Titans have some good young... They got some exciting young players, but I just want to see them sort of put it together. Joe Vuna, Aaron Clark. I mean, Aaron Clark will play lock. He can play dummy half as well. And then, I mean, Tino and Fotuaiki can play big minutes, so I'm not that big on Fasuma Ali playing big minutes. I think he's actually more a back rower anyway, so I don't know. Maybe they bring him on instead of over Stimson, maybe for a bit of game time. I'm not too sure, but I still think he's not a bad option. And then the Dragons, I think they're all pretty good. No one missing from last week. Then we move on to the Knights Warriors. So there were a couple interesting ones here. So Gamble is out, which means yes, no Kalen Ponga. He doesn't make a shock return. Phoenix Crossland goes into 6, and Jack Johns keeps Jack Johns keeps the 13. So unfortunately, Jack Johns is only a second row forward. I'm not big on Jack Johns regardless, because Kurt Mann will surely play some decent minutes, because Jaden Braley is a big minute hooker. Kurt Mann, I think he cops a bit of flack, Kurt Mann. He's had a lot of injuries. He just can't stay fit, but I think Kurt Mann's a really good middle forward, little utility. So I think he should play pretty big minutes. So Jack Johns, he was really good last week, but I'm not... if he was front row forward eligible, I would 100% pick him up instead of Isaac. But he's only second row, so I don't think for me it's going to work. Greg Marshew keeps the spot. He does keep the spot with Heimel Hunt. Heimel Hunt does come into the extended reserves, but I know a lot of people are going Marshew. I can understand it. I don't think I can go there. I'm just happy with my backs at the moment, so I don't think I can. So Niokore is gone, suspended, which is a bit nonsense, but it is what it is. I'm not going to go into that too much. Tohu Harris comes back into the starting side, which is great to see. The bench is really strong. Like, I gotta say, the Warriors, Dylan Walker, I know people hate him, and I don't think he's a good dude or anything like that. He's a bit of a dickhead, but man, he adds so much value to every team he's been in. Like, he was great when he burst onto the scene at the Rabbitohs in the centers. When he went to Manly, playing sort of off the bench and that utility role, he was sensational. And now at the Warriors, he's so underrated. Like, whether or not you like him or not, he is so underrated as a player in any team he goes to. I think he's added so much to this Warriors team. Him and Tavanga do a fantastic job. Josh Curran is a worry, but the fact that Bailey Sirenen is the other back row now, I would expect Ford to still play 80 minutes and Sirenen probably get spelled for Curran, because Curran is too good not to be playing bigger minutes. And it's sort of good news for Wade Egan. I know Jazz Tavanga can play lock, and even can play dummy half, and even Dylan Walker can, but I think Egan played 80 minutes last week, and I don't know, potentially he could continue the 80-minute role, which would be nice, even though I am still probably going to trade him out in a couple of weeks for Hines, but we'll see. And then, Tamari Martin comes back in as well for Volkman. So, a very strong and an exciting Warriors team at the moment, it's got to be said. And then the last game, West Tigers Eels. So this is the other big one, dude. So the Tigers, nothing really to talk about. Well, actually there is. So Charlie Staines is fullback. Dewey is going into 6 again. Who was the 6? Oh, that's right. Wakem was... that's right. Fucking Wakem was in the halves. So I'm assuming he's out of the team altogether. Sean Bloor, Offengawi, Twal, Simpkin. So the forward pack is pretty much the same. But yeah, Dewey's back to 6, which is probably good for him, I think. Like, he'll make a few more tackles. He'll miss a few more because his defense is fucking awful. Honestly, he's starting to cop it more, which I respect, because I feel like people have given Dewey a pass for a long time for being fucking soft as butter. But his defense, I think it's actually the worst defense in the game in terms of, like, weight for weight, pound for pound. He is the weakest defender I've ever seen. He is awful. Disgusting. He doesn't even put his body on the line half the time. It's atrocious. But it's probably still better for Supercoach if he's playing 6. Staines, meh. I mean, actually, I thought Staines was actually pretty okay last week. He was trying. He was getting involved. He was trying to do stuff from the wing, which I respect. But then the Eels. So, Hayes Dunster comes onto the wing for Simonson. I think he's a bit more expensive. Actually, I'm not sure. I think he was the cheaper one, Dunster. So maybe he's a decent... And Sean Russell? Wait. I could have sworn Sean Russell was, like, ruled out with an ACL. Am I imagining that? I could have sworn he was gone with an ACL, Sean Russell, but he's here instead of Wanga Blake, which is fantastic because Wanga Blake is fucking awful. And it looks like he's just been dropped. He's not injured, I don't think. Or maybe he is. It doesn't say he's out. I think he's just dropped. But yeah, Hayes Dunster now comes as I think he's the cheaper option. Forward pack is the same. But yeah, here we go. So Sean Lane comes in. Bryce Cartwright will go to the right-hand edge, which... I don't know if it'll change too much. I mean, it is nice playing outside of Dylan Brown, but Mitchell Moses does like to set up his back rolls as well, so I'm not too fussed. And then Brian Madison starts to lock with Jermaine Hopgood going back to the bench. And I called this. I called this in round 1 of Supercoach. You can go back. I'll leave a link if you want to check the timestamp. I said this, that Ryan Madison was going to fuck up Jermaine Hopgood. And more, it's Sean Lane coming back that's fucked him. But Hopgood back to the bench. Maybe Arthur pulls a late switch and Hopgood starts and Madison goes back to the bench. But regardless, I think Hopgood is... I think he's going to be a trade out pretty soon, because this just shows that he's not going to be playing massive minutes, because when Polo comes back, Campbell Gillard and Polo both play big minutes. Ryan Madison can play 80 minutes easy. So that means Hopgood has to contest those minutes. So I just... Yeah. It's a good... We'll go back to my team now. So Hopgood, he's 550. He's probably peaked at the moment. Potentially could drop a bit of cash if he scores low. But I think this is a good week to wait and see on him. But now the problem is that Cartwright, for me, I was pretty much ready to get rid of Cartwright, but the fact that he's going to be playing on the edge still outside of Moses against the Tigers, I got to be honest, I'm very tempted to keep Cartwright this week, because, I mean, he could score really well. He could score really well and increase in price again. And it's a good chance to watch him again and see what the minutes are like. Hopgood as well. I am leaning towards getting rid of Hopgood. But let's, you know what? Let's have a quick look at the back. So I wanted to look at Lee. I wanted to look at Jared Croker. Any other guys? I don't know. We'll see. I still think Valence Tavade should come in at some point. There's Jack Bostock dropped. I'm not surprised. Like, Edric Lee, I think, is a far better winger. It's good to see him back. Gerald Skelton, I mean, he's an absolute monster, dude. If he gets a crack, I'd love to see it. So yeah, we'll go through. Any other cheap... Oh, that's right as well. What's his name? Hayes Dunster. And also, I guess I think Sean Russell is like an awkward 300k. Yeah, Hayes Dunster there. 234k. So this is actually... This could work out beautifully. So I don't know how long... Oh yeah, Simons is suspended. That's right. He's suspended for a couple of games. So it might not work out that well. Because I was thinking when probably Khan Pereira and Warbrick peak, you're going to want to trade them, but there was like no one to trade to. But if Hayes Dunster kept that spot as a cheapie, it would have been such a beautiful trade down option. But yeah, it's a bit... Simonson, I know a lot of people don't like Simonson, but I feel like he probably will get back into that side when he's fit. And unless Hayes Dunster kills it, and he did look pretty... I don't know, he looked pretty good when he's had his chance the last couple of years. So if we go through... I think... so yeah, Jared Croker, 280k. I gotta be honest, if he plays the next couple of weeks and looks pretty good, I 100%. I mean, I know a lot of people will trade him in, but if he does, but yeah, he could be a really nice trade down option as well. Not a bottom dollar cheapie, but not bad, not bad by any means at all. So there's Robert Jennings. So yeah, he didn't play last week. That's right. He was in contention, but didn't get the wing spot. He's only 270, but yeah, can't go him. So where is... That's right, Gildart's at the Dolphins as well. I sort of forgot about that. Bailey Simonson, Blake, Charlie Staines. I mean, Staines, honestly, he's a wait and see. The Tigers obviously have a tough draw coming up, so you can definitely wait on him. He could drop a little bit more cash, but if he goes well at fullback at around 300k, again, he could be a decent trade down option for one of these other guys. So yeah, there's Sean Russell there, 366. Because I remember he came in a couple of times last year and scored really well. So you probably can't go Sean Russell at that price. It's a little bit over the top. But where is the only other Branko Lee? No, Edric. So he must be expensive, which is annoying because I gotta be honest, I was pretty keen. I was actually pretty keen. Honestly, Brad Parker, I want to see Brad Parker. Now, annoyingly, he's 400k, but man, like, he's playing on that left edge outside of Schuster, Tom Trbojevic wrapping around the back. What's he scored? So yeah, 36, 40, 33, 64. He's just, I don't know, he's just never been an option, has he? It feels like playing outside of those guys, he should be better, but I don't know, he just doesn't get the points for whatever reason. And I actually do like him a bit. Tane Milne comes back. Wouldn't be going him, obviously. He can't be this expensive. I feel like he didn't. Let's go teams. Is he not on here? He must be. I'm pretty sure I saw him at the when I was looking in the preseason. Gee, he's 600k. Are you kidding me? How's he 600k? Who did he play for? I'm honestly blanking. Who did he even play for last year? I don't know. If anyone in the comments remembers, let me know, because I don't remember him at all, really. How's he 600k? Okay, so put a red line through Edric. I was curious to see, but Jared Croker 100%, and I guess Hayes Dunster are very tempting now. As downgrade options for like Khan Pereira, Warbrick, Taruva, potentially. Definitely. So, like I said, Greg Marju. I know a few people in the comments were saying, get Greg Marju, and they're going Marju. And I get it. I would love to get him, but there's just no one to trade. Like, I'm not going to get rid of Miller, Kiraz, or Holmes for Marju. I guess you can make the case for Holmes, but it would get a little bit of cash, and Marju's going to make cash, but I'm not going to get rid of a guy averaging 60 points with still a pretty good draw coming up. It just doesn't make sense to me. And then the Knights, I feel like the Knights, they have a tough run. So they have the Warriors, Penrith, Cowboys, Parramatta. Yeah, I'm not, like, I still think Marju is a really safe option because he makes so many runs. He's going to make tackle breaks regardless of the defense. But I don't see the tries continuing as frequently. So, yeah, I definitely get the trade in because he's going to make money. He's a good play every week. But for me, I just can't. There's no reason for me to go to him this week. So That's right. Like I said, Hosking. So Hosking, I feel like I've almost got to bring him in. And I guess Teague Wilton, he is on the bye this week, and he's just not quite doing it. Like, he's still scoring tries. He's not getting the line breaks, and someone did explain it because it was off the kick. I think that's a little ridiculous that they don't get the line break for it when other players just barge over like right next to the try line and they get a line break. But I mean, it's the way the game is, I guess. So fair enough. But Wilton, he's averaging 60, which is good. But he's got the bye this week. I could go to Hosking. Hosking will make a bunch of cash. I get a bunch of cash from that because Hosking, what is he, like $4.90? He's not like that cheap, but he's definitely a good mid-ranger. 100%. Where is he? Scott Sorensen's actually $480k now. Or is he cheaper? So $458. I mean, he scored 80 points again. Yeah. I feel like I do think it's a good trade-in. Like, it makes more money for me to get Hines after the bye. Hosking's going to go up a bunch of cash. And then, you know, if for whatever reason he then stinks it up, or, you know, goes, I don't know, when Marnie comes back, when Garner comes back, if he goes back to the bench or whatever happens, then I can potentially trade him off to a more genuine keeper. So I do think that is the trade this week. And then Christian Welsh, fucking get out of here. I think this is just the best option. Is there anyone else? I mean, Griffin Neem. Oh, I'll have a quick look to see how long. Well, no, I just can't see. Like, Nanai will be back pretty soon, and he'll take over the spot if Lukey is out for an extended time. Because if we look, I mean, the minutes are actually okay. 40 minutes, 35 points, 41 minutes. The scoring hasn't been great, but 34, 27, 49, 40, 59, 74. Nah, I can't do it. It's not really worth it. He's 370. It's just a little bit too much, unfortunately. Matt Croker, not a terrible option, but I wouldn't go there still. He only scored 39 points. He's just going to turn into a bit of a plotter, I would say. Sean Kepi, yeah, I mean, he's getting 30, 40. Like, it's just, again, you might as well just go someone really cheap that's going to potentially do the same thing. I mean, Hame Saleh, I do like Saleh. He is on the bench. Because what did he play? 47 minutes, 49 points. I do like Saleh a lot, but I just... No. Can't go. He got one in his first game too, so it's not like pressing. He's not going to go up. He probably won't go up, and he might lose cash, honestly, depending. Anyone else? Anyone else standing out? Murdoch Masilla? No, I can't do that. Lindsay Smith. I mean, honestly, Lindsay Smith could play some more minutes with Fisher Harris being out, but I still just think... I think just go the actual cheapie of Isaac. Because I'm not that... Like, if he only gets 30 points, it doesn't really bother me. So the other guy... And now I've got 400k now. I got 400k in the bank. I play Utsukamanu. Obviously, if Tarpany or Utsukamanu go down for whatever reason, and I know Utsukamanu, I think he has their bye next week, so that means I got to play Isaac, which isn't great, but it also gives me like a free vice captaincy loop if that works out, because I'm not going to care if I don't play Fasuma Ali that week, but we'll see. I'm thinking that's what I want to do 446 in the bank. I mean, I could use a trade boost and get like a Ruben Garrick. But again, I'm not, like I said, I still like the idea of what I had before. Reece Walsh has 2 good games coming up, and then he gets tough. Ruben Garrick has 2 tough games coming up, and then, oh fuck, I forgot Schuster. Oh, I forgot all about Joshy Schuster. I need Schuster in the team. I completely forgot. So, oh, what do I do? Now I'm torn. Like I think I'll just use a trade boost, because I got 4 trade boosts left. If I have 3 trade boosts for the major buys, that'll be good. I would rather have, I think 3 is fine. So I think I'll just use a trade boost. Do I trade out Dewey? I don't know. I mean, I feel like I want to keep Dewey because he could turn it around. And the 5'8", I mean, I could actually go Dewey to Dylan Brown with the trade boost, but I think I'm just going to hold off for now because I do need Nico Hines next week, so I don't want to spend all my money just in case. But they got Parramatta, Manly, Penrith, St. George. Like, it's a tough run. It's honestly a tough run coming up for the Tigers. That's why. And they don't play round 13. I think I'm going to try to get Dewey away as soon as possible for what's his face? Whatever the hell he's called, Dylan Brown. But Dewey versus Dylan Brown this week, I don't know. I feel like they might score similar. Unless fucking the Eels could put a score on them, and Brown and Lane's combo could work well. But who do I trade? Who do I trade for Schuster now? I could get rid of Katoa, but I mean, he's making good money. I could get rid of, maybe I get rid of Hopgood. I think it's either Hopgood or Cartwright. Yeah. And I'm actually leaning towards Hopgood, surprisingly. I didn't want to get rid of him, but I do think it's the better option, because I want Schuster in the second row forward, I feel like. But yeah, that'll pretty much wrap up this video. I got to think about that. I got to decide who I want to get rid of. It's a tough one. I'm pretty happy. I guess the only thing is I don't necessarily have to get in for Suamawali this week. Like, he's not going to go up a stack of cash. Christian Welsh could go okay. He could get another 50 to 60 points maybe. I could wait on for Suamawali to see the price potential. That way I don't use a trade boost for no real reason. And I just get rid of someone for Schuster for my second trade. Now I'm leaning towards that, because is it really worth the trade boost getting rid of Welsh for Suamawali? I mean, the money is nice, but it's not that necessary at the moment. Yeah, I think I'm going to reverse that one and keep Welsh for one more week, because he's not going to go up that much money. He's not, I don't think. I'll have a look at the break even, but he only got 25 points in the first game he played. We'll see his minutes better now that they've got like their full strength pack, basically. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. And then, yeah, the decision is still, do I get rid of Dewey for Schuster? Do I get rid of Hopgood, or do I get rid of Cartwright? Because obviously we brought in Hosking. Preston is staying for the long term, probably. Fafita is staying, and then Ford is probably staying for a while. So yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the Supercoach action. I got a couple of decisions to make. Actually, before we go, let's have a quick look at vice captaincy and captaincies, because it's the biggest part of Supercoach, annoyingly, as I always say. But let's have a look. I'm a little nervous So Panthers take on Manly at Blue Bet. So you either got to make the choice between Cleary or Trbojevic. I don't think I definitely wouldn't go Trbojevic against Penrith. So Cleary. Who else? So Harry Grant's up against Roosters. I don't know how I feel about that. Honestly, you know what? I'm sort of Val Holmes vice captain into Cleary captain. I can see Holmes going big against the Dolphins, and Cleary I think is a pretty safe option against Manly, who do leak points. Manly can definitely score them, but they do leak them. The Broncos, I mean, Reece Walsh, if I had the guts, captaining Reece Walsh would be okay, but he just worries me so much. I can see a low score coming pretty soon. Gold Coast, Dave Fafita against the Raiders, against the Dragons, not bad. And the Newcastle Warriors, I mean, Lucky Miller, yeah. And then Parramatta West Tigers. I mean, I don't really have any Parramatta guys to captain anymore. If I had Dylan Brown, I could have a shout on him, but I think Holmes vice captain, Nathan Cleary captain. I think that's just the safest and probably best option for me this week. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.